The Philippines is an archipelago with rich fishing grounds which provide sufficient food supply for our people. To ensure that supply is sustainable for the future, an effective fisheries management program should be in place to guarantee the country's fishing grounds will always supply the needs of our people. And joining us tonight on NewsLife to discuss how we manage our fishing grounds is Director Aziz Perez of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Angel, and good evening to viewers.
Sir, in 2005, the government implemented a plan of action to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal and unregulated, also unreported fishing in the country. Is this program ongoing, and has it been effective on how we manage our fisheries sector?
It's ongoing, and we're trying to make sure that it's implemented, and we're trying to ensure that all the agencies involved in the implementation are on board.
So, sir, briefly, what is considered illegal fishing, and is it a common practice?
Well, illegal fishing are those kinds of fishing that is prohibited by our national legislation. An example would be dynamite fishing, the use of poison in fishing, and fishing in fishing grounds that are prohibited. For instance, a big commercial fishing vessel is not supposed to conduct fishing in municipal water because that particular fishing ground is reserved for marginal fishermen.
So, sir, how is the campaign for that doing so far?
Well, there's a lot of room for progress on this, and we have to admit that this is a continuing challenge for our government to be able to finally eliminate illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing.
So, sir, we talk of this. Can you distinguish what is unregulated from unreported fishing, and how negative is the impact of this on our fishing industry?
You know, there are cases where you allow a particular entity to fish, but once they fail to report their actual catch, then you have a case of unreported fishing. So they are able to fish, but they did not report to you exactly how much they were able to get from that fishing activity. So in that sense, you have unreported fishing. The other way is, the other side is unregulated fishing, where fishing is happening without any license or permit from the government. So that is unregulated fishing. Marami din tayong ganitong situation because not all of our fishing efforts are actually licensed by government.
I see. So, sir, so far would you have statistics on how many unregulated and unreported fishing?
This is widespread. The exact number is yet to be determined. But let me cite a particular statistics. Right now, we have about 8,000 registered fishing vessels in the country, commercial fishing vessels. But we know for a fact that the number of actual fishing operators is way beyond that 8,000 figure.
Yes, sir. I see. Now, how many fishing areas do we actually have in the country, and are they overfished?
Well, we have more than 20 major fishing areas, and based on studies, for instance, there are signs that 13 of these major fishing grounds shown signs of overfishing. So ibig sabihin, science is telling us that overfishing is seen in 13 bays of major fishing areas.
So, sir, what is being done to ensure that fishing in these areas can be still sustainable in the future?
So we're trying to institute management measure in these particular areas like the close season. So you're familiar, well, medyo familiar na mga tao dun sa ating close season in Zamboanga, and we started close season also in Visayan Seas. And this is these are some of the examples of management measures that government is now institutionalizing in various fishing grounds of our country. So,
sir, now, also, what is the impact of the nationwide planting of mangrove to fishing in the country?
Well, that's a good question. When we joined the government in 2011, we discovered that our mangrove area has been reduced to about 20% from the original mangrove size. And so mangrove is very important for our fisheries, and so we decided, or the government decided, our intervention in mangrove. So we're targeting about 100 million trees, and that we expect a positive result of that because, you know, in mangroves, the mangrove area is the spawning ground and as well as nursery ground for small fish. So we expect an increase in catch once we're able to manage our mangrove areas properly as well.
I see, sir. How about mariculture as well and aquaculture? Is this good also for supply?
Mariculture and aquaculture is now providing about 50%, more than 50% of our total production. And so without aquaculture and mariculture, then you can imagine the low supply of fish. No? So it continued to contribute to our production, but aside from aquaculture and mariculture, we also really have to manage our wild stocks, which is, we believe, feasible dahil you don't feed them, you don't put a lot of input on wild fisheries.
How about the harvest of tuna, sir? How is it doing right now?
Well, the good news is with the management of sardines and other small pelagics, yung maliliit na isda, we're able to retain a lot of tuna, yellowfin tuna in our seas. So we've experienced at least 10% of increased landed catch of tuna, and that in turn contributed to increased production and eventually increased export of tuna products.
I see. Now, sir, finally, is the current program of the government for fishing ensure a sufficient supply for our people in the future? Or what else is being done to ensure this?
That is the intention, to make sure that our program will result into sustainable harvest and more food for our people. But let's put everything in context. We only need 2.8 million metric tons of fish to feed our people. And the current production actually is almost 5 million metric tons. So we have a surplus of more or less 2 million metric tons. And that's why for our food alone, we're more than sufficient. And we're exporting part of it to other countries.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for joining us tonight on News Live. That was Director Aziz Perez, Director of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources.